Welcome back to the latest episode of our Let's Play. If you remember, Arius is laid up, and now we are with Turnus in his Galleon Scout costume to go and enter the Warriors Tournament and hopefully bag a nice cash prize. Let's chat with Nova here. He called her sweetheart. That's quite a contrast from what he usually calls her, wench or something like that. But you can usually count on Turnus when things are really bad to shape up a little bit. So Arius is, still in treatment. You got Nova and Alka working on his healing, like full-time, more or less. And, alright, so then Molly's hanging out here as well, although she can't really do much. And, let's chat with the doctors here. This is Xenogear's face, if you remember. I used a few of those. What do you know, Sonia? You don't know shit. You're not even a doctor. You're just a nurse. No offense to any nurses out there. Alright, so we're going to go through this tunnel here back to East Gallia. And then get over to Central Gallia. And that's where the tournament is. Now, Central Gallia is only like... It's like 5 or 6 massive buildings, and it takes up the whole thing. It's not a huge amount to explore, but we'll do a quick walkabout. But we don't have Arius with us, so people aren't going to recognize Turnus. And even if they did, they're not going to recognize him dressed like this. Okay, so that lady mentioned North Gallia, which we'll get to later on. I think I could go now, but there's not much of a point. We'll do these things in order. Doesn't look like there's much here. Okay, so yeah, now we're walking around the arena. The arena takes up the entire center of town, and that's where we're going to have our tournament. Oh, look at that! Lysander made part of North Gallia some kind of city park. That's nice of him. Okay, that's a lot of them are chatting up. Building up North Gallia. Oh my God. Who put Fred Phelps in this game? Oh yeah, this is the old guy who's weird sprite and the alpha keeps changing colors. Alright, so we'll go down here. Jeez, even the kids are freaks in this place. People here are nuts. Okay, so this is the Lord General's house, except we don't have Arius. Oh, man. I gotta love Turnus going into the homes of high-ranking officials uninvited and then insulting them when they wonder why he's there. Oh, there's Isla. So that's another Chrono Trigger character in the bag. Okay, so what else is going on here? Oh, jeez. Come on, lady. Oh, yeah, that guy lost the qualifying rounds, which are going on right now, I believe. This is some kind of guard house. And this place is kind of boring. Buildings are like massive. Okay, so let's see what's going on here. This is like a big bazaar, with like a bunch of shops in one. Let's get some weapons. Although I don't have much money, but all we got is Turnus right now, so we'll get him some new gloves. But got to sell a few things. There should be a few like jewels in here. And these things are totally designed to be sold. Just a way to get some extra money. Yeah, there's another one. And I think I've got something else I can sell. Let's find it. Yeah, the fancy shovel that I found in that other dungeon. Make some money. Well, it's looking pretty good. Alright, now just get him some gloves. I could get some armor, but I'll do that later, I suppose. Yeah, that's right. I forgot I got that. He's got that gun, so I only need to buy one of those gloves. But what are you gonna do? Okay. Oh my God! How many times am I gonna make that same joke? What is that? That's like the 4th or 5th time that somebody said that. I just can't let that go. It's like making one NPC to make fun of it wasn't enough. Okay, that's so random. This place is nuts. Kind of like New York. I remember when I saw my first crazy person in New York. I hadn't been there that long. Alright, so we got to register for the tournament here. and it's really pretty easy. You just kind of walk in there and say you want to compete, and then you get sent to the qualifying rounds to see if you're one of the final 8 fighters that gets to fight. And now he's given the name Ralph Torlin. He's not going to tell people he's Turnus Worrell. And if that name sounds familiar to you, it's because it's also the name that that Sod adopted, or at least the last name. When he first met Ketsu in Master of the Wind, he gave his fake last name, Torlin. And so that was kind of a callback to this. So now we're in here, and we're going to do a few sort of preliminary fights here. Turnus 101, and I've got this gun. If you think about it, it's kind of a funny image. You know, you walk into this building, and then you just blast everybody with like a technology that has, you know, that hasn't become well known at all. But nobody seems to really question it, because, you know, the game doesn't know what weapon you're using. We're going to fight a scout leader, who are a little tougher, so we'll use some magic. And let's see what I use. I got a lot of wind spells now too, thanks to those great books, but for now, we'll stick with the lightning. Yeah, you gotta be a little careful with the one-on-one fights. I mean, even if you're, you know, high level like me, it can be, if you lose track of it, you can go down. Alright, so that guy's done. And then one more opponent, a sorcerer, who's vulnerable to physical attacks, so Turnus will make mincemeat out of him. Yeah, look at that. And he gets shocked. That's the kicker. Not only do you get, you know, shot, but if you get the shock thing, you lose a turn. You know, you're just going down. Okay. So we clear the qualifying rounds. And now we're going to go prepare for the match. Although I think there's a few other scenes of dialogue and stuff before all that starts. Yeah, so we have to go down into the sort of rest area and wait for tomorrow for the big day to begin. And this is a big event in Gallia. You're going to see like a lot of supporting characters hanging out, watching. And this is Aubrey, who is another kind of like one of those spur-of-the-moment characters. But, you know, Turnus befriends her, and it turns on the charm like he's apt to do. And, you know, eventually she plays a bit more part. She's never like a huge character, but she's got you know, some importance. And then he name drops Lily, which kind of like blows her mind a little bit. But he's coy and he's not going to tell her much just yet. And then we got another dude hanging out here. Yeah, okay. It's a little scary. Look at that armor. All right, so let's which bed is it? Let's go to bed and prepare for our fights. Here we go. And now I am refreshed and ready to kick some ass. Now the whole idea behind this this tournament arc, not really an arc, it's just this one scene. But I watched a lot of anime, you know, growing up, and they would have these tournament arcs, you know, whether it was Dragon Ball or Naruto or any of that. And you know what always happened in the tournaments was that, you know, you'd have a few fights, but then something crazy would happen. You know, maybe the enemies would come, or the heroes would have to leave, or something would happen, and you never got to see the tournament play out. You never really got to, you know, see who won. So I decided to make a tournament that would just, you know, things would go completely like they were supposed to, and then you'd have all the matchups, and then, you know, you could do, you know, you could just have a regular tournament. So what's that saying? You know, be the change you want to see in the world. This is a very small example of that. But yeah, as you can see, we've got Lysander and Ariel right in the front row. I guess Linnea doesn't have the stomach for this sort of thing. And Vander and Tor are there. Various council members. Felicia's there. And the lords and generals are there. And then a bunch of random people in the back. I don't know if there's anybody interested in pointing out. No, but it's pretty normal. Sometimes with these crowd scenes, I stick in somebody really weird, but it looks like everybody's who you expect. So there's Drances, who, remember, is of course is Turnus' rival from his hometown, who accompanied Lysander to Gallia and is now competing in a tournament. And his first opponent is this Earth Mage. And you know, something I got to do with this POW you know, what do you call it? How the fights that, you know, you get in as part of the gameplay look to the rest of the world. So, you know, they're pretty much like picking their spells and casting them and going through their hit points and magic points the same way that, you know, we do, but you just don't see it. So, Jancy's got through his rock shield by doing a lightning strike from above, which was his only kind of vulnerability, and then he zaps him, and he's pretty much out of the tournament. So, yeah, what a dick. Turnus agrees. Jancy's is just a arrogant little douche. And now we've got this sort of sprinter guy versus Aubrey. Ariel's already kind of thrown, you know, her lot in with Chuck there. And so this is, you know, a lot of these fights I want just have some strategy, not just people slugging it out until, you know, until one of them falls down. It's got a lot of little twists and turns here. And in this case, this guy is so fast that she can't hit him. But there is a way to deal with somebody who's fast and freeze the ground right under him. So if he runs, it's not going to do him much good because he can't get any traction. This is what Captain Cold always did to the Flash. So now that, you know, he's vulnerable, she manages to get the advantage. And then Irva's there. Oh yeah, Irva's there as well, the sidekick, who, you know, some of the suspense is gone, I think, when you're, you know, psychic. But she keeps her mouth shut. Oh, jeez. Yeah, so Lysander and Ariel are hanging out, and Ariel probably thinks it's a date, and Lysander just probably thinks that, you know, he's taking one of his friends. So now I think the next match is, yeah, this woman, this dark mage, and then we have this giant guy. And so this is a bit of a twist, because you expect this guy to win because he's so huge. You know, you might even think he'd be the, you know, the toughest guy in the tournament. But this woman Fury here is quite a fighter, and she manages to use her speed and you know, agility to counterbalance his what do you call it? His jumping and earthquake powers and whatever. And so she slows him down with some of that sludge that Sharikra throws. In fact, she looks like a, you know, dark-skinned version of Sharikra. But she manages to beat him. And now we have Turnus's first match against this weird guy. And this was an interesting fight. I mean, actually, all these fights are pretty hard. Even, you know, if you're high level. And this guy's shtick is that he just keeps draining. He drains Turnus' hit points, he drains his magic points, he, you know, he debuffs him. Yeah, like what Turnus is saying, all he's doing is siphoning off his strength. But his weakness is that he's in this very heavy metal armor and thus extremely vulnerable to lightning attacks. So that helps get some damage. But then again, when he empties my friggin' magic points, you know, I got a problem. Let's see if any other elements do some good damage. And, you know, Turnus is talking shit to him. The water is not impressive. Alright, so let's... what am I going to use here? Let's just fill the old magic. And, you know, he's debuffed me a lot, but that doesn't do much good against my magic. If I was trying to hit him, though, I'd probably do some pretty crappy damage. There we go. Yeah, he can only stand up to so many of those hits. And so that's the end of the first round. And what I got to explain what's coming up here. I used to have this this little picture of like you know, a little tree of rankings that I made myself, but it didn't transfer over with the game for some reason to this computer. And I tried to remake it, but I couldn't get RPG Maker to accept it. So now we have that weird background. But in any case, we'll continue the tournament next time. Peace.